Hello everybody and welcome back once again to Let's Play Crusader Kings 2. Yes, it's that time of the week again. Boy, every time I start this game up, I look forward to the session. I've just spent the whole morning looking back through the past couple of parts to refresh myself over what happened last time, and also reading through the comments page, and also taking a little bit of time off camera to get my bearings with a couple of things which I will outline right about now. Now I will keep the game paused whilst I explain this, but it shouldn't take too long. This is by far one of the most in-depth LPs I've done in terms of research, in terms of trying to ensure that it remains fun through the RP and story element, and it's just, the game is just so amazing. I love this game. I can't stress this enough. And if you haven't yet bought it and you're watching this LP and you're thinking 50-50, should I buy it? I'm not sure. Go out and blooming buy it. It's absolutely amazing. Anyway, enough about that. Moving on to today's session. Last time we left off, we became the Duke of Cornwall. King William the Conqueror created the duchy title, and because of our high relationship, and I like to think because of the hard work that George has put in the past in terms of fabricating claims for the king and being his loyal subject, he has rewarded us with the title of the Duke of Cornwall. Almost like a promotion. And we also managed to capture the, I think this is pronounced Dyfed, I think. Somebody was saying I was butchering the pronunciation of this place. I'm not Welsh, so I don't know, but apparently it's pronounced Dyfed rather than Dyfed. So if I have been butchering it, I do apologise. But we captured Dyfed, so we have 2 counties and a duchy to our name so far. And we're now fabricating claims on Glamorgan. So that's what happened last time. So what's going to happen this time, and what is our goal? What does our future hold for us here? Of course, immediately in the short term, or long term, depending on how long it takes our Chancellor to fabricate claims, we're going to be going for the Duchy of Deheubarth. So we're going to claim the lands here, 1 and 2, extra 2 lands, and we're going to try and capture those and then create the duchy, and then we shall have 2 duchies to our name and possibly 4 counties, which we might be able to get away with. If not, we'll have to start dishing out titles to our children. So that's the short-term goal in terms of our conquering aspect. But looking now at Duke George of Cornwall, we can see that he is laden through his hard work in the bedroom department with various women. We have plenty of children, and as I have come to appreciate in this game, children are nothing more than bargaining chips. Bargaining chips to increase relationship with nobles and leaders and lieges. Bargaining chips to secure alliances. And we have plenty of bargaining chips to our name, so we should be able to make good use of them, and to have them wasted is definitely something we can't allow to happen. So the first part of this update, I'm just going to explain about the marriage alliances. Now the only way to make alliances in this game is through marriage. There's no other way. You can't send envoys and stuff like that, so it's just a case of marrying into the family. Now, as a couple of people have said, we should try to aim to get marriage alliances with kings of France, kings of other places, maybe even Emperor of Holy Roman Empire, King of Denmark, etc., for powerful allies. The only problem is I'm a duke, and my children marrying the children of a king, there's too much of a prestige difference. I've tried it off camera with the King of France, the Holy Roman Emperor, and none of their children want to. He doesn't want to allow his children to marry into my children. They are not high enough in the nobility, I suppose. So to be more realistic, then, the alliances I should be plumping for is the alliances of nearby independent dukes, because you cannot make alliances with vassals. So, for instance, all the various dukes of France, for instance, I couldn't make an alliance with the Duke of Burgundy. I could make an alliance with him, however, because he's not an independent ruler, he's under the King of France, I cannot call him to war. So it makes no sense to ally with somebody like that. We need to ally with somebody who we can request assistance from militarily. So, where is there a nearby duchy that is independent? Here, of course, we have good old Brittany. Now the reason why at this moment in time I'm not going to ally myself with Brittany just yet is because this guy's old, And if we do procure an alliance with Brittany, as soon as he dies, the alliance ends, and it's going to be a very short alliance, and it's a waste of a child. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to wait for him to pass away. The new ruler will come, which is his eldest child, and then we will procure the alliance with him, and hopefully he will last a few more years, making the alliance a little bit more fruitful. So the second alliance that I'm going to be procuring is alliances within my own realm. Within England, I have one alliance with Emma's father. He's going to be soon kicking the bucket though, because he's for 61. So we need to procure some alliances with other dukes in England to further cement our position. Because it's not what you know, it's who you know. So in order for that, I looked at the realm tree here to see who were the most prominent figures in the land. And these 4 dukes here appear to have the vast majority of power when it comes to military in England's realm. So I could ally myself with a couple of these guys. It would be extremely handy. Of course, we already are allied with Duke William of Gloucester. So there's some other people here that I should be striving to ally with. Starting off with this guy. So if we move down here, we can see that this is Duke Baldwin I of Normandy. He is the Duke of Normandy, which is this area here. If we just click on the Duchy of Normandy here, we can see that actually the de jure wise it is all of this, but at this moment in time it currently stands at these 3 lands here. Now if we go to his little family tree aspect here, we can see that he has an elder child, he has himself an older sister, Hermine de Normandy. If we click onto her, she is second in line. Because he has no children, and due to the succession law, she is the heir to the Duchy of Normandy. She's 13. She's not actually too shabby in terms of stats. Decent diplomacy, she's attractive, gregarious, ambitious, proud, zealous. She also has a strong claim on the Duchy of Normandy. A prime wife, I feel, for my heir. Do you not think? Not only do we get an alliance with the Duke of Normandy, which is very useful when they get married, but also, if the Duke of Normandy passes away before he has any children, she becomes Duchess, which means that any of our children get the Duchy of Normandy title, which means I could potentially be in control of the Duchy of Normandy. Of course, he has to die, which means we might have to pray that he becomes ill, or we could even try and assassinate him. But I think this is a very, very good situation for my my heir. So that is the first betrothal that I'm going to start. The second one is in relation to the next powerful, another one of the powerful dukes of the country. It's this guy, Duke Richard of Flanders, who is, I think he's 3rd in line to the throne of England. He has a whole host of daughters, and allying with somebody this powerful would be, I think, useful as well. Now, I don't think we can betroth to his heir because she's too high up on the list of succession. However, his next eldest child, who is attractive again, not too shabby, Ida de Normandy, his second child, he would be willing to have her betrothed to William, my next oldest child. And thus, when they get married, that procures an alliance with Flanders. So I'm going to go for that as well. And finally, the next powerful duke in the area, we have the Duke Prince William of England. He is one of the sons of King William the Conqueror. He has a young son who is 7 years old, and I think he makes a prime candidate to be betrothed to my beloved Grace. So there we go, that's 3 betrothals, potentially 3 alliances of key dukes, the most powerful dukes in England, all within a close vicinity to me, so providing aid in my wars is not out of the question. And more importantly, my heir could have some kind of future claim here on the Duke of Normandy. So as we bump it up to 1 speed now, that is the research that I did in relation to the betrothals. Now of course there's a couple more that I could make in the future. When this guy dies, again as I say, allying with Brittany. Of course you accept. Of course you do. Why wouldn't you? I will ally with Alan of Cornier, and also I will have to re-ally myself with the Duke of Gloucester, whoever he may be in the future. And they accept as well. So if we look to our family, we see that we have some betrothals lined up. Now of course in this game, the beauty of this game is that things happen, plots unfold, twists occur. So these betrothals might look bright and rosy right now, but in due course they could fall flat on their face. So as you can see, Duke George of Cornwall is ensuring that he strengthens his ties to the House de Normandy. I think pretty much all of these betrothals were House de Normandy. Yeah. Yeah, so all House de Normandy betrothals, again strengthening his ties with the king and his family. It all makes sense. King William the Conqueror was recently excommunicated, I remember last time. I couldn't lift the excommunication. I don't have a high enough opinion of the Pope. Speaking of which, because my vassals here are paying me the tax, the bishops, I don't need my bishop here really increasing relationship with my religious leaders there, so I'm going to have him try and increase my relationship with the Pope. Just simply sticking him down there increases it a little bit, I think. So we're going to try and improve our relationship, and if we can assist King William in becoming reinstated, I think we'll try and do that as well. Which begs the final piece of information, the final piece of the puzzle in terms of my explanations for the start of this session. Build policy. Now my house, my seat of power, although I'm not there at this moment in time, as the king creates another duchy title, that is my seat of power, that is my homeland. I've just recently captured Deved, of course, but build policy. How should I progress building work in this game? Money, especially at this early time, is hard to come by, and somebody has suggested that I should focus all my building efforts simply in Cornwall. Not amongst my counties that I hold, but actually among just in this one area. Focus my efforts. And I suppose it makes sense, of course, but if anybody has any ideas for alternative build policies or build strategies in terms of where we should build, just drop me a line, eh? Patience is a virtue, but sometimes it gets on my nerves. My son Arthur never loses his temper, always waiting patiently for a chance to retaliate. Hypocritical much, I think one of his traits was patient. He still is. So I think we're going to reinforce the patience aspect of his character. Because it's how we are. We're patient, and therefore we would pass that down to our child. As little Arthur continues to grow in stature, this could be. I've got high hopes for this guy. I don't know what he's going to do. He's very low down in the succession ranks, but he could be a key player in the future. For better or for worse remains to be seen. So I'm just going to bump the speed up now to 2. Ooh, roller coaster ride here, 2 speed. Ooh, hold on to your hats, folks. Whilst we're fabricating claims, whilst we're waiting for the betrothals to come into fruition here, we'll just take our time. Duke Estmond of Lancaster has joined the Lower Crown Authority faction, but it still is no closer to being pushed No one joins, it's just fun and games. Okay, just had to pause it there for a quick second. Moving on again. So, the betrothals are made. Our 3 eldest children betrothed to prosperous and mighty dukes within the kingdom of England. Who's this? Ah, she became infirm, did she? Well, incapable and possessed. That's what you get for trying to plot against one of my people. I remember in the last session she plotted and schemed to have somebody killed. Well, this is your comeuppance, lovey. Karma has its ways. Hopefully today we're just going to take our time and once again proceed about 5 years, ending round about 1092. Blanca, another one of my coaches, died of a period of illness. Oh dear. Dangerous times here it was. People dying left, right and centre. Life expectancy about 40. Something along those lines. Anyhow, up here in the northern duchy of Wales, what's happening here? Ooh, we have one passage, but it's called English Northumberland to shore over Northumberland. What did I tell you? I told you it would happen eventually. It's taken a little bit longer than I expected, but after taking Cumberland, King William the Conqueror will want Northumberland too, and he's started the war, the de jure war over Northumberland, which means that when he does capture it, the current count would become a vassal of the king. The current count being a prince of Scotland, no less. Oh, the shame and embarrassment having to bow down to an English king. Oh dear. I can see the headlines now.